noticed recently that sometimes some surrogacy online groups have just given up a little bit and just have started to allow posts to come through before going through them. And I finally approving them because there are so many coming in, or because there are sometimes instances where administrators, they do recognize that they have other things to do at home and with their personal lives, also with their personal careers. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, and the dangers that sometimes that may cause. Welcome to the Sistera. This is Melissa, Tara's mom, and you're going to be able to find this video in the playlist Infertility, IVF, and Surrogacy. You're going to be able to find that playlist in the description in a link. So just go ahead over to that area, and if you're interested in watching the rest of my videos, I would be so glad that you did, because it really helps the understanding of the process of surrogacy. Okay, so this morning, I was going through, scrolling through Facebook, and then I find this woman that had posted in several groups at the same time about putting a screenshot of the full name of a surrogate, saying, "Beware of this surrogate and why she is bad and why she shouldn't be paid attention to." Just saying things that don't really destroy the character of the potential surrogate, but what it does is that it ruins more the character of the intended parent. And when we're talking about character, you guys, a lot of you guys think, oh, those are maybe sexy pictures or something. No, people always, try to look at it that way. No, we're talking about how they are when it comes to treating others, because that what it really means. Okay, so it is very, very important, and I really encourage the owners of those groups that have been around for longer and that are more reputable, because they allow mostly just posts that are more solid, and that um, that will come from someone that is not spamming or trying to defame somebody. I really encourage those groups that have been established for a long time to go back to going through posts and approving them again, because I believe that this behavior is unacceptable. Um, I am not going to mention any names, but I am going to mention what happened. So the intended parents started posting everywhere they could about a potential surrogate that they have been independently working with. And to me, that is one of the dangers. I really do not support or encourage independent matching or independent dangers, independent surrogacy journeys, because of the dangers. And one of those dangers is coming across a situation that you can barely be able to solve on your own, and would have to resort to a lawyer, to a fertility lawyer, right? That has nothing to do with the surrogacy contract that you have to um, get drawn and design. Now you have to fight for something else. On the other hand, when you go through an agency, the surrogacy agency makes sure that those matching points are met, and the surrogacy agency lets the surrogate know, hey, for example, when the surrogate asks the agency what are some of the things that are included in a contract, It is very almost universal. Not every contract is like that. Sometimes they get very customized and personalized. But it's kind of universal to come across a contract where you will see surrogates being limited to traveling up to 200 miles away from the hospital that they need to deliver at, so beginning from the 36 weeks of pregnancy. Excuse me, in case something happens, right? So um, when you and that's kind of like a universal way, but there are some cases that will go on a case by case basis because of certain circumstances. Maybe because there is co parenting from one state to the other, or one county far away to the other, or maybe other several things. So, and this is why an agency is right there to help mediate, because sometimes hiring a lawyer for other expenses of other services could have been just resolved by having an agency mediate. Um, One thing that you cannot miss, in my opinion, and I am going to give a disclaimer here now. This video is only for entertainment purposes only. What you do in your life, or what you do as far as your surrogacy journey goes, as an intended parent or as a surrogate, is going to be your responsibility. I do not have professional legal advice, professional fertility advice, professional mental health advice, professional life coaching advice. No professional financial advice whatsoever, no professional medical advice whatsoever. Okay. So when you are working with an agency, um, during the matching process, it's going to be a lot easier. But when you are, if you're working independently, let this instance, which out of so many that could be, but at least that this one instance alone that I was just telling you about, remind you that it is very important to include um, traveling distances for certain times during the pregnancy as a matching point. Let your potential surrogate know that the one that you are interviewing, hey, I have to make sure that my surrogate won't be traveling, for example, more than 200 miles away from the hospital that she is set to give birth to my baby after 36 weeks. Write it down somewhere, that's what I would do, and set it as a matching point. Okay. And set all of your concerns, make sure you put everything up front, because if you miss adding that um, on this point, after you do the medical screening and everything, once you get to legal and that point comes across, and then everybody disagrees, and you do not want to allow a surrogate to travel more than 200 miles away, whether it is by car or by airplane, excuse me, or by train, then that is something that you have to make sure that gets taken care of before anything, because once you get to the contract, like I said, you're gonna have you don't want to move forward with what the surrogate is available to do, then that's it, the match is broken, and contract was not signed, so there is nothing you can do because no contract have been signed. And yeah, you can say, oh, she made me spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just for this. Don't put it on her. You can't blame this on her and then go ahead and slam her all over the online groups because you didn't do your due diligence. You have to do your due diligence first, vet the surrogate appropriately, and make sure that that surrogate agrees with what you're asking for. Other than that, it's always a lot easier to go through this with an agency because when things get uncomfortable, you can have your agency coordinator or owner talk to that surrogate. Okay. Um, and I don't have anything against intended parents, but when they do that, when they slam other surrogates online on all the groups with that intention of giving them a bad reputation, you're at a huge risk of getting sued by that potential surrogate for something so minor, for something that was just a regular matching point, and it's something that wouldn't have constituted a danger to the baby's life. Let's put it that way, in my opinion. And then they go on these groups, and they get all the comments that they receive in their favor are from other intended parents, of course, that go through independent surrogacy journeys, and will say, "Oh, I am sorry that happened to you. Something similar happened with me and her, or like or somebody else that I know." It is on you. It is on you. You have to make sure that all those matching points are established, and do not just assume the surrogate will do everything you want and will agree with all of your requirements before the contract takes place. It is your due diligence that before matching with the surrogate, all your matching points are established. Otherwise, once you get to the contract, it is going to be very difficult. Okay, and again, I don't have anything against intended parents, but sometimes, when they want to save around, I mean, agencies, they charge a different amount of money. Some of them a little bit less, some of them a little bit more. You may find as low as 15,000, as long as high as 25,000. Um, but that is nothing compared to the amount of money that you really have to invest in a journey, in possible several embryo transfers, in traveling expenses, and in unexpected expenses. Okay, so this is why I do have a video that's about surrogacy costs, how much does it cost, and possible financial aid. And go ahead and take a look at it. It is in my IVF, infertility, and surrogacy playlist, but I'm going to put a separate link for that specific video. I do not recommend when an intended parent is not prepared financially for the unexpected. I do not recommend them to start at that specific point. Wait until you are more prepared because they may be a lot of unexpected expenses. Um, it all comes down to, like I said before, vetting. If you're going independently, vetting your surrogate and establishing all matching points before sending surrogate off to medical clearance. Do not assume everything is going to go peacefully and your way. Always, okay? Again, I'm just telling you this, from the bottom of my heart, in my opinion. Again, remember, this video is only for entertainment purposes only. And that's all I wanted to know. I am Lisa Lama Grover, and I am a surrogacy consultant for integrative surrogacy, a wonderful agency that I have been trusting for a couple of years now, that have been getting to know. If you're a surrogate that is interested in if you're a potential surrogate that is interested in becoming a surrogate, don't hesitate to email me at melissal at integrativesurrogacy.com. Find the email below in the description and all the details with all the requirements, the basic requirements to become a surrogate. And if you're an intended parent that is interested in joining this wonderful agency, go ahead and send me an email as well. I will redirect you. When it comes to integrative surrogacy and you're an intended parent, you do not have to give a retainer fee unless that surrogate has been accepted already in our agency. And there is a video where I speak a little bit more about that. Be protected. Be protected, and even if that takes a little extra time, to find an agency to help you, to give you that extra cushion. Agencies are not only going to be advocating for surrogates, they're going to be advocating for you too and mediating for you as well, okay? So don't be afraid of that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.